going to take you on a quick run of earning $200 locally on this segment of the Gig Geezer. Today is Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025. And if this is your first time checking out the Gig Geezer, thanks for coming by. If you're a returning visitor of the Gig Geezer, thanks for coming by. And if you would not mind, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. You're joining me in progress in that I've already completed a stacked Instacart run. It was 16 items total, and it paid $35 and change. The first one was the most. It was like 13 items, something like that, mostly pastry and produce. And that was delivered to someone's house. The second one was to a business within a complex. And I don't like those. Sounds like, you know what, if you're going to do these things, I know that there are things that you're going to have to deal with. But I don't like them, particularly when you know that the parking situation is not that great. And then it's going to require some serious walking. Fortunately for me, with me having this van and also having some other things to make the job easier, like a dolly, I was able to park somewhat proximate to the office, and then use a dolly to transport or move 3 cases of water to the office. Of course, when you get there, oh, how you doing today? Don't ask me how the fuck I'm doing. Shit. But the other thing is that when you do shopping on Instacart, and if you go out there early enough, it's amusing to me now because I am an official geezer, chronologically and probably by appearance now with some people. And so you go to the stores and all the old folk are there shopping. And there's a reason why they're there early. First of all, because there's not many people in the store. Second of all, they need the less traffic of people so that they can kind of shuffle around and do what they're going to do. But what's funny to me is that I'm in the store, and minus the employees and maybe 5 or 6 other customers, I'm one of the youngest people in there shopping. And that's something that is taking a little time to get used to. Now, the only other scenario that I can think of in which I was probably among the youngest people in that public space was shortly after hip replacement surgery back in 2018. And I decided as a part of my rehab that I would go to the nearby mall and walk the mall. And if you ever go to the mall, you'll see old folk doing their speed walking in the mall. And so here I am. I'm not struggling walking because I'd been walking ever since day of surgery. But I built myself up to where I could walk a good mile and a half a day. And over time, within about a month, I was up to walking 2 miles a day. Well, you go in the mall and you see the old folk speed walking. Come along, keep it up, kiddo, keep it up. And you know, that's kind of how they do things. But I didn't embarrass myself, but it was just the fact that here I was, even then at the time, I was 55, in there among people who were older than me doing their speed walking. So, as I mentioned, you are joining me in action in that I am now about to do a local last mile gig delivery opportunity. Also within the hour, I have a catering delivery opportunity. Now, the reason why I'm doing this local last mile gig delivery opportunity is because the drop-off location is literally within walking distance of the store. In fact, I used to live over in this part of town, and this store in that immediate area was a part of my it was part of areas that I used to walk when I rehabbed from hip replacement surgery. So most of the items are planks of plywood. Admittedly, I should not have grabbed the son of a bitch. I mean, for $42.50, I should not have grabbed this son of a bitch. This is an order that used to go for a couple $100, and now it's going for fucking $42. But I'm not going to say that this is a thirst move. This was just I want to say a dumb move in which I didn't read everything. But with this app, the way they kind of got it set up, because number one, they got a time limit on saying that, hey, you need to be here by a certain time. And number two, if you don't ask to be unassigned almost immediately, your asking to be unassigned will count against you. It will be a mark against your account. And if you accrue 3 marks against your account within 30 days, you could be deactivated. So I guess in the greater scheme of things, I figured, well, what the fuck? I'm just going to try to get the $200, and I'm going to share how I got the $200 today. Why am I talking the dollar amounts on these? Because these are local, typical gig app opportunities that most people are doing anyway. And so I figured, well, I could share these numbers. These are numbers that most people can relate to. And, it also shows that, hey, the geezer is no different than the next person. When I say that I'm out here brawling and clawing like the next person, I'm out here brawling and clawing. Truth be said, I missed out on a couple of other opportunities. The first one, though, both of them I missed out on. At the same time, it would not have been possible to do them without some kind of repercussion on the apps that I'd already pretty much locked myself in on for today. The other thing too is that, hey, today is, with this being Wednesday, this is the day that I do my weekly live streams, or I've done my weekly live streams. And for whatever it's worth, since this is being done earlier in the day, my scheduled guest is Red from Gig Wars Official. And my other guest will be you. And that the other half of the allotted time that I usually plan for these live streams, you will be the guest, because it'll be free game in the second half. So what I'm going to do is resume this conversation from the pickup or drop-off location. I have not decided. All this is on the fly. All right, so I have picked up this order. It is 23 slabs of plywood, plus a bag of some screws, some wood screws. But the timing is such that I'm having to rush back over to the other side of town to do this catering order, and then come back on this fucking side of town to drop off these sheets of wood. Meanwhile, I called myself trying to catch a brokered opportunity that was leaving from Columbia going to Somerville. And we had agreed on a rate, but then they said, you got to have at least a 20-foot box truck. I got 16. I need at least 20. So this is where I speak of where you try to give yourself as many options as you can. I've got opportunities, but I've got only so many opportunities the way I see things. Someone else see me as like, man, you got a lot of shit you got going on there. But yeah, I'm thinking further along. I'm playing chess in that I'm thinking 10, 12, 15 moves ahead. And so that's what I got to work on. That's my challenge. Now, while I'm at it, while I was waiting to pick up, guy goes, Geezer, man, I be checking out your stuff. The guy who said that, his name is Duran. We actually met. He reminded me. We met last summer doing a last mile gig delivery opportunity here in town. Duran is based here in the Columbia area. He's working the gig apps, doing his thing. We talked about a lot of things. Some of the things that I've mentioned in my archive of content. It's always nice to meet someone who's been checking out your content, who's taken some value in what you have to say, and it's encouragement for me that maybe I am presenting the right things to y'all. So what I'm going to do now is update from the catering pickup location, because I really got to hightail it over there. I know how the catering orders work. I need to be there within a certain period of time, or they're going to be on my ass, and rightfully so today. So By the way, if you like the content that's been provided in this segment of the Gig Geezer or in any other segment, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. All right, so what you saw there is kind of a preview of the catering order that I picked up. It is actually positioned on top 23 sheets of plywood that I mentioned. And now I am actually, it kind of works out in that where I'm going for the drop off, believe it or not, at one time, the property that it sits on used to be a driving range for golf. It was a golf driving range at one time, at least when I first came to Columbia full-time 25 years ago. That's exactly what it was. And also on that property was a small AM radio station. But where I'm going to now is a part of a medical park for various services provided. And across the street from there, it's a state warehouse, but it used to be a Sam's. So funny how things change over time. But anyway, where I'm going is probably about 10 to 12 minutes away. I know where I'm going is the second floor of a building. It's kind of tight quarters with the elevator, and then the office itself. I mean, it is what it is, though. But it is what it is. So that's where I'm going. This catering opportunity is paying $110. So you look at 35 plus 42, that's what, 77 plus 110, that's $187. So all I have to do is one more thing. Now, for the most part, you would think that, oh, it don't take shit to do another $12, $13, but some days that's the hardest amount that you have to find, is that last dollar amount that you're looking for. But yeah, this is stacking orders atop orders across different platforms. This is also working local. A lot of folk like to talk about what few miles they drive and so forth. And I would like to talk that, being that I am working local today, but my market is such that things are so spread out that, as I've mentioned so many times, it is highly conceivable to drive 20 minutes and drive 20 miles. And then again, from where the Geezer compound is located, where I start from, I start as you're leaving the Columbia metropolitan area. So I've got to drive some miles back into town just to do things, and then if I have to crisscross back and forth, it's highly conceivable to put in 150 to 200 miles just locally. So when I resume the conversation, it will be from the catering drop-off location. All right, so we're moving again. All right, I just dropped off the catering opportunity. Interestingly enough, this is at a medical office. Interesting enough, this is at a medical office. I get there, I know where to go, and the lady hits the door, and then as I'm going through the door to go in back to drop off where she says, we don't know anything about this. Are you sure you're at the right place? And so I go through the spiel. I give her the address. I said, this is the address, right? Yes. This is the business, right? Yes. We don't know anything about it. Okay. You know, there are offices in the first floor too now, you know. I said, well, this is supposed to go to the second floor based on the delivery instructions. So as I'm leaving, I decided, well, I'll call the contact person provided in the app. And I call the guy, and he happens to be in the parking lot. And then as I'm getting out the phone with him, the lady goes, okay, well, just take it around the back. You know where to go, right? I'm like, yeah, I know where to go. And so the guy, as I'm in the break room area about to take things out, he shows up, and it's all good. Fortunately, these things happen on these catering opportunities. Doesn't happen often, but it does happen. I do have the experience of having delivered to the wrong place. In fact, on 2 occasions in my hundreds of catering delivery opportunities, I have delivered once to the wrong building within the same property, and then I had stacked catering opportunities and delivered the wrong stuff to the wrong people. To this day, I don't know how I did that one now, but I know shit happens. But that wasn't the case today. This happens to be a case of people not knowing what was going on. Does not surprise me one bit. So now we're heading back to the other side of town to drop off all this plywood, and then I'll be looking for basically one more opportunity. But the truth of the matter in the Columbia market is that it seems as if many of your delivery opportunities, if you're going to see them, they're going to happen before 2 o'clock. At least Monday through Friday. And then on the weekends, you see them and then you don't see them. I'll just leave it at that. But basically during the week, that tends to be the case. So I'll resume this conversation from the drop-off location. All right, so I am leaving the drop-off location, which was not an apartment, but it was a residence, an actual construction site. There was a contractor there doing some work, and he had a helper with him. And so the old guy got in his exercise by unloading 23 sheets of plywood plus a bag of nails. So we're at about $1.87 and change today, and looking for one more delivery opportunity for today. And then it's heading back to the Geezer compound, and I guess getting ready for the live stream that's going to be for tonight. If there was any issue with that guy, I would have told him that I could go no further than 10 feet from my van, and I had to place those items where they were. So what I had to do, since it was multiple vehicles already in the driveway, I kind of used the neighbor's driveway to back up, and then found there was a trailer that was there on the property, and just as you see here in the picture, place those plyboards up against that. So that's all for now. So there you go. For those, in fact, I kind of mentioned this with Duran. I said there are those who don't think I don't do anything. I don't, because I don't document all my interactions with people, and then loading the van, and then when I get to the drop-off location, I don't have a GoPro of my unloading shit. There are those who think that the geezer is just talking shit and just throwing out numbers. No, the geezer puts in his work. It's just that, as I've mentioned so many times, I've got one video source, one audio-visual source, and so therefore I work with what I have. I'm gonna sum it up by saying for today, I suppose it was meant for me to work locally and not try to pursue any low board-based opportunities or some significant last mile gig app based opportunity, and definitely nothing on the cash game. I mean, I've kind of whiffed on cash game opportunities of late. People tell you one thing and they don't follow up, and you don't want to come across as some pestering person, because that's how you may be reported as some spam caller or somebody who's annoying you, some type of annoyance. I know, like insurance, you faced a very heavy, stiff fine if you violated certain cold call rules, especially if they say take them off of your list and things like that, and you call them back, they could report you. Well, I have completed at least the shopping phase of this Instacart opportunity. Turned out that I got a stacked opportunity. And the crazy thing how this came about. I'm going in to do a 10-item Instacart opportunity. I get close to the door, and someone from the Costco staff was like, "Hey, I was trying to get your attention because I noticed something in your left front tire. It looked like it's a nail that's in your left front tire. You might want to check it out." So I walk all the way back to the van, and I see where it's located. And so and as I turn around, there's a guy parked next to me who says, "I recognize your channel. I check out I'm subscribed and check out your stuff all the time." Well, the guy's name is Matt, and Matt lives probably like at the most 10 minutes from that Costco. And I was telling him how I used to live over in that area, and it was within walking distance of where I used to live. Kind of like what I talked about earlier today with the last mile pickup, in which I picked up those sheets of plywood. So we got to talking, and I was just appreciative of the fact that he was the second subscriber of the channel whom I met today, and that's a first. I've never met people on two different occasions in a single day who are subscribers of the channel. So yeah, as it turned out with the tire issue, it was a short screw that was lodged into the tread. One thing that probably helped me out in that situation is that my tires are fairly new, and so there's a lot of tread left. So it lodged into the tread, and that was it. I plucked it out, and we're driving. So I've got two drop-offs. The first one, 10 items, reportedly paying $16.80. The second one, while I was talking to Matt, I got an add-on, and it was one that I accepted because it was 10 items offering $31.31. But I will put that number up. I'll put the total for these two right here, and that's going to be it for me today. It's a local day. Doesn't happen often, but I still earn over $200. In fact, over $225. And this is the type of stuff that I would have been looking for had I been working exclusively out of my F-150 back as late as 2022 and as late as early 2023, as I was transitioning into this working out of this Sprinter/cargo van. So that's all I have to share. If you like the content that's been provided in this segment of the Gig Geezer or in any other segment, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. I'm Inwood Lane. As always, may your grind and may your hustle continue.